Alright, yeah, so, as the title here suggests, this is Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Catgirls, like kawaii des animu grill with cat ears. Yeah, I found this on 4chan, and I think that's, 4chan archives are the only place you can find this. It's basically just a 3-page long document with a bunch of pointless drivel that, I'm not really sure who exactly they're making fun of. I think they're making fun of really pretentious people that think that their homebrew is like the greatest thing ever, while simultaneously also making fun of people that insist on shoehorning in anime Catgirls or just anything, just a bunch of other weeb crap into role-playing games. And so I think they're just sort of making fun of both of those. Most of the dialogue in the frequently asked question that they start off with, which I don't think anyone ever asked these questions ever. And yeah, the fact is just not to be trusted, so just ignore the first 2 pages. The only thing I think that's actually really worth pointing out here, I think is funny, is where are the cat boys? I don't follow. That's the only thing I think is funny. The rest of this is just lots of really pedantic insults being hurled around. I think it really only exists to just sort of make fun of both pretentious content creators for RPGs and people who shoehorn weeb crap into any sort of game that they play. So the only thing that's really worth paying attention to is like the last page for if you absolutely must include Catgirls in your D&D 5 game. And I actually kind of compared this to some of the other races that are available in the core book, and it's actually not too unbalanced. Like, I think maybe the speed of 40 feet per turn is a bit much. It's also kind of ridiculous that they refer to common as English, especially since this is like mostly a Japanese phenomenon. Or at least it's common in Japanese animation, like moe trash anime maybe. And I also think this ability right here, acute, is a bit, well, besides being horrible grammar, the fact that at level 1 they can have access to a spell that you would normally have to be level 3 to get access to, I think that might be a little overpowered. But overall, everything taken as a whole, it doesn't seem too much, since I think, like, dwarves, they only move 25 feet, but they can wear heavy armor without any movement restrictions. So, it's really not too out of the ordinary, I think. Though if you were to tack this on with some abilities that increase your movement speed, this 10 feet, really, that extra that they get really adds up, I would think. And sure footage, anything that involves balance, they get advantage on. It's not bad. It's not unbalanced compared to some of the other things that are in there. Like dwarves get advantage against poison resistance, keen senses, proficiency in perception. A lot of the other races get proficiency in some other skill. The variant humans get to choose what skill they have proficiency in. So yeah. The stat block, even though it's meant mostly just as a parody, it's actually not all that unbalanced for if you are one of those unfortunate weeaboos that do have to have Catgirls in just about everything. Well, here you go. Just go look for D&D 5e Catgirls. This is all very use at your own risk. So if you're going to go looking for this, I'm not going to be held responsible for any scarring or horrifying thing that you find or anything that ends up damaging your computer, but this is just a thing that exists. So if you really want this sort of thing, yeah, there you go, it exists. Someone on 4chan, I think, put it together. There's no credits or anything for it here. I just sort of found it in one of their D&D 5 general threads. I think they called it like Catgirl Edition or something, and this was one of the first files they published with it. So there you go, D&D 5th edition Catgirls. For if you are as much of a sad, pathetic weeaboo as I am.